Hello, today's video we have the following content.
Qin Ye exposed the reasons for the failure of Xiao Zhan's The Legend of the Condor Heroes. He bluntly said that Xiao Zhan was let down by Tsui Hark, and the script had a big problem. Recently, as the box office of major movies in the 2025 Spring Festival came to an end, The Legend of the Condor Heroes starring Xiao Zhan and Zhang Dafei ranked 4th, and the box office champion was undoubtedly Nezhe, The Devil Boy Conquers the Dragon King. In response to this, Qin Ye, a screenwriter, published an article to expose the reasons for the failure of Xiao Zhan's The Legend of the Condor Heroes, which had nothing to do with the actor Xiao Zhan. It is worth mentioning that Qin Ye bluntly stated that Xiao Zhan was let down by director Tsui Hark. The biggest problem with this movie is the script. The characters are vague, the narrative is confusing, and it is revealed that there are even problems with the lines being written incorrectly. It is reported that screenwriter Qin Ye published an article to expose the reasons for the failure of Xiao Zhan's new Spring Festival movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes, which has nothing to do with the protagonist Xiao Zhan. Qin Ye even bluntly stated that it was director Tsui Hark who let Xiao Zhan down, pointing out that the biggest problem with this movie is the script, and there are still many places that can be polished and modified. The flaws in the play led to the failure of this movie. In fact, I personally think that this is not something that director Tsui Hark or actor Xiao Zhan can control, but a problem that martial arts films are slightly outdated. The box office of 600 million is already the best of the same type. Judging from the response of fans, after seeing the reasons for the failure of Xiao Zhan's The Legend of the Condor Heroes revealed by screenwriter Qin Ye, everyone said that they could not blame the director or the actors. In the entire Spring Festival period, the box office alone was considered a failure, but in the same type, Xiao Zhan's The Legend of the Condor Heroes was really good. In addition, the post-audience deletion is also a big problem, so I personally think it is worth supporting. In short, I wish Xiao Zhan all the best. At present, this movie has achieved a box office revenue of more than 600 million, and has also achieved a reverse decline. Good reputation cannot be buried. Regardless of whether Xiao Zhan was let down by director Tsui Hark, this is a very successful and good movie that is trustworthy. The release of The Legend of the Condor Heroes, The Greatest Hero is really a big drama with a lot of jokes. As soon as the movie was released, it was sprayed like a drowned chicken by the audience. I thought I could see the freshly baked genuine martial arts this time, but after watching it, the hardcore fans could only say that they were dead. Let's talk about the plot first. This time, director Tsui Hark tried to condense Jin Yong's original novel into 2 hours. To be honest, this was quite challenging. After all, The Legend of the Condor Heroes is a large novel, and trying to solve it with a quick method like narration is a bit like being impatient and unable to eat hot tofu. The love story of Guojing and Wang Rong should have been told in detail, but in the end, it was just passed over with a few narrations in the film. As a result, the emotional line was confused, and the story ended before the audience could get into the play. There are indeed some different voices and comments about Guojing played by Xiao Zhan. In the original work, the character of Guojing is a typical representative of being simple, honest, kind-hearted but not smart enough. His growth is mainly reflected in the tenacity and integrity he shows after experiencing hardships. Such a role seems simple, but it is actually very challenging to perform. If you are not careful, you may be misunderstood as stiff or rigid. Xiao Zhan's performance may seem a little restrained to some viewers, which may be related to the setting of the role itself and his understanding of the character. He may pay more attention to restoring Guojing's simplicity and dullness, and has not yet fully found the perfect match with the deep emotions of the character in the processing of details. Especially in the face of complex emotions or large scenes, some expressions may appear a little stiff or unnatural. However, the polishing of performance is a process of constantly accumulating experience and gradually growing. As an actor who is exploring multiple roles, Xiao Zhan dares to challenge such a classic and difficult role, which has shown his courage and enterprising spirit. Moreover, each actor will have a different understanding and style of interpreting the role, and the audience's expectations are also different. This diversified voice is itself part of the artistic discussion. Criticism is also an important driving force for the growth of actors. I believe that Xiao Zhan will continue to learn from experience and improve himself in future works, and bring more touching roles. At the same time, I also expect the audience to examine the performance from different angles when evaluating, and see the efforts and progress of the actors. Indeed, Zhuang Dafui's role as Wang Rong has caused some controversy, mainly focusing on the difference between the character image and the audience's expectations. As one of the most spiritual and charming female characters in Jin Yong's works, Wang Rong's intelligence, wit and beauty are classic labels that are deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. The audience has extremely high expectations for this role. They hope to see the agility of the most beautiful in ancient and modern times in the original work, and hope that the actor can give the role a unique freshness. When shaping Wang Rong, Zhuang Dafui may focus more on showing the character's playfulness and eccentricity, but there is a gap in temperament and role tension with the expectations of some audiences. This is not entirely a problem of the actor's performance, but may also be related to the handling of the script, the setting of the role and the guidance of the director. After all, creating a classic role does not only rely on the individual actors, but also requires the cooperation of scripts, lines, lens language and other aspects. As you said, these are not the core reasons why the film has encountered a large number of negative reviews. The most serious criticism of the film is often deeper problems, such as whether the script adaptation is reasonable, whether the narrative rhythm is compact, whether the character creation is three-dimensional, and whether the overall production quality is strong. If the plot is weak and the emotional expression is not in place, even the most outstanding actors will find it difficult to save the audience's disappointment. In the final analysis, the audience has high expectations for classic works, and the voice of criticism is also a spur to the works and actors. I hope that the creative team can learn from the feedback and bring more mature and touching works in the future. For actors, every challenge is a precious opportunity for growth. I look forward to more breakthroughs in Xiao Zhan and Zhuang Dafui's future performances. The phenomenon you mentioned does reflect a change in the current film and television market. Once upon a time, the name of the traffic star itself meant a guarantee of box office, and the strong appeal of the fan economy could quickly drive the craze for watching movies. However, with the maturity of the audience's aesthetics and the pursuit of high-quality content, the model that relies solely on traffic-driven has gradually lost its former magic. Audiences are paying more and more attention to the quality of the work itself, not just the halo of the star. Whether the plot is solid, whether the characterization is three-dimensional, and whether the acting is real and natural have become the core criteria for measuring the quality of a movie. No matter how hard fans try to control comments and brush data, it is ultimately difficult to cover up the real evaluation from passers-by. After all, the word-of-mouth communication of ordinary audiences is the key to whether a movie can be a long-term hit. This change is not a total denial of traffic stars, but a self-adjustment of the market. If traffic stars can prove their acting skills and strength through their works, they can still be recognized by the audience. On the contrary, if they only rely on popularity and ignore the performance itself, they will inevitably encounter a decline in reputation and even affect future development. For the film and television industry, this is not a bad thing. It forces producers to pay more attention to the quality of the script and the professional ability of the actors, rather than simply relying on traffic dividends. For actors, this is also an incentive to constantly polish their acting skills, break through themselves, and win the recognition of a wider audience. I hope that future film and television works can find a balance between traffic and quality, so that truly excellent works and actors can stand out and win the true love of the audience. Indeed, the box office performance and word-of-mouth feedback of the movie The Legend of the Condor Heroes, The Greatest Hero have sparked widespread discussion. From the wave of negative reviews on Douban to the unsatisfactory box office estimates, what is reflected behind this is not only the audience's real feedback on the quality of the film, but also the current film market's deep reflection on the traffic plus big production model. The film market has entered a more rational and mature stage. The audience no longer blindly pays for big IPs, traffic stars or luxurious productions. They are more concerned about whether the story itself is touching and whether the character creation is real and vivid. The reason why films such as Nezhe, The Devil Boy Conquers the Dragon King, Detective Chinatown 1900 and The Legend of the Gods have achieved both box office and word-of-mouth success is inseparable from solid scripts, excellent visual effects and the sincere performance of actors. These works speak with content and successfully won the recognition of the audience. Although The Legend of the Condor Heroes, The Greatest Hero has a strong IP endorsement and well-known actors, it seems that it has failed to meet the expectations of the audience in terms of plot adaptation, character creation, narrative rhythm, etc. resulting in a gap between box office and word of mouth. In addition, the phenomenon of controlling reviews has aggravated the audience's antipathy and weakened the credibility of the film. What the audience wants to see is sincerity, not carefully packaged data and evaluations. From a market perspective, this phenomenon has sounded a wake-up call for filmmakers. Instead of spending a lot of effort on marketing and controlling reviews, it is better to invest more resources in content creation and quality polishing. Only by truly respecting the audience and telling a good story with heart can a movie stand the test of time in the market. Although the box office performance of The Legend of the Condor Heroes, The Greatest Hero did not meet expectations, I hope that this experience will become a valuable experience, prompting the industry to pay more attention to the quality of the work, and bring more good movies that are really worth going to the theater to the audience in the future.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave your comments to help us develop your channel.